Good evening. Good evening. My name is Kwabena. Welcome. I want to share with you what I call financial success comes after productivity. Financial success comes after productivity. Assuming you live in a culture where if you needed an expert to do anything for you, you could count on their professionalism. And assuming if you live in a culture where you didn't have to worry so much about the honesty and the character of the people that you deal with. Assuming we had that, can you imagine the impact it will have on our productivity? Can you imagine the effect that those things will have? A typical example is, let's say you want to send your car for repairs. Maybe your car had an accident and you sent it to the mechanic for repairs. There are two things that you're going to count on. One is the expertise of the mechanic. Does he know what he's doing? Would you be able to fix that car for you with the best of skill, with the best of technique, with the best of technical understanding? And would he be honest with you? Would he be ethical in dealing with you? Does he have the courage to handle the situation that you have at hand? Most of us in our country will attest to the fact that you have got to deal with two things. Usually, when you want people to do something for you, the expertise is lacking. You're not sure the level of excellence that whoever, even though they are charging for it, you are not sure the level of excellence that they are going to attach in solving the problem or helping you to solve the problem. And then you also have to deal with their honesty. If you send them that money, would they be honest enough to, do the work as they have charged you? They ask you for 5,000 for them to work on your car. You had Mary, and what shows that the invoice that they have given you, what shows that everything that they have listed is really what they would go to the market to buy, and there are not that much or that many things in place for you to certify this. You probably would have to go with them, and even when you go there with them to the market, they still would be the people going to buy, and they know what to say to somebody to get your money. Now, these are the things that we live with in a typical culture, in a typical market like what we have, and these things have a serious effect on our productivity. They have a serious effect on our productivity. Now, people talk about financial success. They talk about what people have to do to lift themselves from poverty, but very little is being done on these two, because if anybody has these two, we will be able to live at least lift ourselves to some level of financial success, where you have a certain level of expertise of what you do. And so maybe you're a surveyor, maybe you are a building engineer, maybe you are a banker, maybe you are whatever you do for living. Can people really count on you in terms of the excellence that you exhibit in working? Do you practice at a very high level of precision, a very high level of expertise at what you do? If you're a lawyer and people come to you, do you really know the work that you are doing? Have you really studied it? Can they say that you are the number one in the field that everybody would want to come to? Or maybe you are a builder. If somebody comes to you to say that build my house for me, can the people count on you that by the time you finish the work, you have the best of resource, the best of output in terms of the house that you're going to build for them? Or you will be an average? It's not so much in our conscience to be so much excellent at our craft, at what we do. Or if you get somebody who is so much excellent at what they do, another hurdle that you have got to deal with will be, are they honest? Do they have character? Would they go by what they have told you? Would they purchase the things that you have agreed for him to purchase? Would he screw you right from the beginning? These two we battle with every day. Every day. Why? Unless you're not in the market, unless you don't operate in this culture, where if you want anything done, you have got to worry about the kind of results that you will get based on whoever you are procuring the service from. The kind of results that you will get. Would they be able to do it according to the satisfaction that you are looking for? And then two, would they be honest with you, especially with the money? Or they will set up to screw you, to cheat you, and to lie to you. Now, these two are the many that I would say are the main things that productivity depend on. Because if you have a mechanic shop, if you have a company, if you have anything that you're doing, that you do it such that you are among the top of the people that they can count on. You're so much excellent at what you do. You produce something and everybody would want to look at, this guy knows what he's doing. This lady knows what she's doing. If they get that, and then when they come to you and they see the character that you exhibit, they see that you're honest, you're on time, you are respectful, you don't cheat, you're humble, those things, you treat people with the kind, like human beings. If you have these things, you will succeed at what you do, and most likely that you also succeed with your finances. But if you're looking for these things in today's Ghana, you would have to go so much. You probably, I don't know, but you would have to take so much to get these things. Somebody who is so much good at what they do, and somebody who is so much credible, so much honest, will tell you as it is. It's that much difficult to get these two. And yet people look at this. Some people have one, but it's so difficult to get the two, where you get somebody who's that much so good at what they do and who is so also credible, honest. Sometimes you get somebody who's so good at what they do, maybe, but you cannot depend on them in terms of honesty, in terms of credibility, in terms of delivery, in terms of them doing as they have promised. Or sometimes you get somebody who will do as they have promised, but they will cheat you, they will lie to you. So it's a tough combination to find a lot of them on the market, and yet people want to get results in what they do. If we were to teach people that if you want financial success, these are the things that you look at for, that whatever that you do for living, whatever craft that you have, whatever career that you have, whatever profession that you have, if you would decide to become the best at that profession, if you become so much accurate at what you do, and then if you decide to say that I am going to be somebody that everybody else can depend on, everybody else can rely on me, that if I charge you 2 cedis, it's 2 cedis. If I charge you 3 cedis, it's 3 cedis. If I say come for the goods at 10, I am there. If you can get people like that, or if you can get to work like that, success will follow. Financial success will follow. Let's look at, most of us would want to sew a shirt, and so you look for the seamstress or the tailor, and you are looking for these two. You're looking for somebody who is so good at what they do. So you're looking for a tailor or a seamstress who will be a very much professional, sew the clothes as you want it, perfect, and somebody who will not screw you. It's so much tough to get the two. And what I've seen is that if somebody has even the latter, which is the character, they are likely to even have the first. But most likely that it's so difficult to get these things at the same time. So much crucial, so much difficult. Just go and get a plumber to get to work on something for you. If he knows the work, he brings an invoice that you cannot trust, and he tells you that he will finish the work Tuesday and it will go to the next 1 month. Go and find a mechanic. You send him money. You would have to call him 1,000 times for him to pick. And then when he's even working, you are not sure what he's going to do. Whether after he's finished his work, you can count on him. Go and look for a carpenter to come and repair something in your house, whether it's your door. He comes, he does it according to the level of his expertise. The quality is in shambles. And if you give him money, if you're lucky, he will show up. Now, it's not that these things are not in other places. But when you have them in the majority, then it calls for alarm. There's trouble. And it's not only with the artisans. So if you go to some of these organizations, you're looking for these two. You're looking for somebody who is that much good at what they do, and somebody who is that proud to work without asking for anything. And instead of us focusing on these things, people are focusing on how they will get money. The money, the fair money, the clean money, the one that is honest, follows productivity. The money, the financial success comes after productivity. And so if you're going to be productive, you are going to have that thing that delivers at the top level. And you are going to have that thing that people can trust. You are a person of your word. You're a person of character. You work on these two, and you see that you will be successful at that what you do. And almost invariably, it will also affect the finances that you have. Because if you're very good with your carpentry work and you're honest, people will start to talk about you. People will start to say that these people are honest. If they say that they will do this, they will do it. If you people bring phone for you to repair, and you do the works that well, and you're credible, and you're honest, and you don't overcharge, you don't lie to the people, you will have continuous work. Once you have continuous work, what does that mean? It means that you're having more revenue. And if you start to get more revenue, what does that mean? It means that you'll be able to have the financial progress that you're looking for. But people don't look at that. You give somebody work, and the first instance, he may not even be thinking of doing the work perfectly or excellently. He's looking at how he's going to charge you so that you get more money. And when he gives you timelines, he is not in a psyche to even follow them. These are the things that we deal with, and it's not that everybody is like that, but a lot of people are like that, where they don't have the excellence in delivering the very craft that they have gone to say that they are good at. The very thing that they have trained for, they can deliver. And even if they're able to deliver to a certain limit, you cannot even take their word for the finances, for the time of delivery, for a lot of things. And instead of us working to improve these things, you're rather looking at it from a whole different angle. So people are looking for financial progress, financial success, without tackling these two. Now, if you start a business, if you start anything that will bring you finances, financial progress, financial improvement, if you don't look at these two, you will not be there. So if you live in a culture where people have expertise in what they do, and they have developed that sense of quality and excellence at what they do, you will see productivity. Productivity will be so high, because people will be conditioned, or people have been conditioned to be excellent at what they do. They have mastered the work. If he's a mechanic, you can see that this mechanic, by the time that your car goes there and comes back, the car is better. He studied it, and he's constantly improving that. And if he charges you 2 cedi, it's across board. He doesn't look at you and charge you differently. He charges you differently. He's fair in his dealings. He's honest in his dealings. He's not trying to screw you. If you see this, you are seeing high level of productivity. So if you had a culture where people will work with honesty, with credibility, you will see productivity. We want money. A lot of people want money and financial progress without looking at these two, without looking at the expertise at what they do, and without looking at the character. A lot of people work like that. That's why we cut a lot of corners, or we give up when we are confronted with difficulties. And so, because people's focus is not on the resource, it's not on the delivery. People's focus is on the money. And so, if your focus is on the money, you start on the wrong note. You want to get the work done, and done well. You want your client to trust that you are credible. You deliver at what you say. People would have to grow to understand that if you want financial progress, consistent one. And so, after a while, if you don't practice these things, after a while, you see that you start to decline in your productivity. And once your productivity is low, your financial progress is going to be low. So let's say you are a teacher, If you can be known in the workplace as a good teacher, you are very good with what you teach. You take your work seriously. Your students believe in you. And you are not the teacher who is trying to collect the school fees and run away with it. You are the teacher that people can say that this teacher is dishonest. Everybody will be looking for you. And that's where you start to establish yourself. And that's where the situation starts to increase for you. But people have developed this everything except these ones. And so he even becomes a minister in the government, and he's not looking at becoming an expert at his position. And he's not looking at becoming somebody that everybody else around him can trust. Usually we compromise these two. And once we compromise them, it means that we are looking for just the financial progress. Yet financial progress, financial success comes after these two. And so we put something else before that, which means we start on a wrong note. That's why when you see young business people, young entrepreneurs, they start and they put the finance before them. If you start and you put the finance before you, you have started on a wrong note. You would want to start becoming so good at what you do, so good at what your business does, so good you become an expert, an excellent. You whatever you do, you are also getting better at the results that you get for your clients, for your customers. You are always looking at that, increasing that. And once you look at increasing performance, increasing delivery, you are increasing productivity. That's why your name starts to go out. That's why people start to look for you. That's why you start to increase your revenues. You start to increase your income. If you look at that. And then the second one is you become somebody who is character driven. People would want to know that if you say this is what you can do, this is what you're doing. And if there is a challenge somewhere, you would want to tell them and be honest about it. That there is a challenge somewhere, I'm trying to correct them, and once I correct them, I'll get back to you. If you work like that with these two, your financial success will come. It's just a matter of time. Because you start to build momentum, you start to build a base. People start to look for you. And so financial success, it comes after when you have done this professionally, when you have built the business professionally. People look at getting a job and working somewhere. They are trading somewhere. They have a shop, they have a barbering shop, they have a salon, whatever they do. If you look at you becoming so best at what you do, and you become somebody that people can trust, the success will come. The success will come. This one has nothing to do with whether you go to church or not. This one has nothing to do with whether you're a man or a woman. This one has nothing to do with whether you say that, in our family, nobody can get money. You try these two. You try this too, that you become so good at what you do that everybody else can say that this one, if you give them the job, they will get it done. By the time, before you even finish the work, they are giving you another one. Before you even finish the work, they are giving you another one. And if you go there and everybody is cheating and lying, you want to tell them that, listen, we don't work like that. We want to work with what we have agreed on. We want to be honest. If you say that we will charge you 2 cedi, it's 2 cedi. We don't want to say that it's 2 cedi, but somebody else in the company is trying to say that add 10 cedi to it so that we can come and share. You say that, no, I'm not going to do this. I am going to do what I have agreed with the man. If you work like that and you take your work seriously, you say that, okay, I'll be there 3 o'clock, and 3 o'clock you are there. You say that, okay, I will deliver the work by 2, and by 1 it's done. If you're noted for that, just a matter of time. And anything between when you are working and when you start to see the results will just be a normal process, a normal duration that any business will go through. But once we start to compromise, because what I have seen is that most people, what people call business in our country is not business, because they don't do the business with getting the best of the results for the client. They don't do the business with that excellence, that I am going to deliver this to the perfection. And this is what I'm improving my craft every day. I'm improving my craft every day. If I'm going to do this work, I want to make sure that I will do it better than what I did for the last client. I'm always becoming better. the quality of delivery, I work on time, I take my work seriously. They look at me and say, this guy is serious, he's not playing. You take the load off your client. If you're taking a lot of, you are charging them and you charge them fairly, and you are trying to be the one that is always honest. If you say that I'm going to do this, you are the one going to do this. If you work like that, the financial success will follow. But people think that, okay, they have given me a contract, is 10,000 cedis, but I can lie to the man to get 15,000. And so for a lot of people, business means that, cheating to get 15,000 paid instead of 10,000. Or I have agreed to go and buy the materials for that work, 5,000 at this quality level. But because the man does not know what he's doing, I'd rather go and buy 2,000 quality so that I can make some profit, more profit on that. If you do that, what you are shortchanging is that you are shortchanging your financial progress, your financial success. Why? Because your productivity will be low, the quality will be low, you will not be excellent at the work, and then you would have compromised on your values, on your character to the client. Now, top businesses around the world now have so much critical with honesty, so much critical with value, with character. Why? Because when you don't take care of that, you eventually lose whatever you are spending your life to build. Whatever you are spending your life to build. If you start to cut corners, if you start to lie to the client, if you start to cheat, what you're doing is that you're compromising your financial success. Because just one blunder can wipe off everything that you have spent your time to build. For instance, you are building 3-story for a client, and instead of you using the right reinforcement, you compromise on it because you wanted to make some gains. And then something happens and the building starts to go down. They take you to court. You have to take a lawyer. You will have to rebuild it for them. You have to do a lot of things for them. Now, the very money that you thought that you were saving, now you have nothing. And so the two things that will guarantee your financial progress, your financial success, is you becoming so good at what you do. The business, the profession that you have, become so much excellent at that. And the next one is become somebody that people can take your word to say that this man, if he says go to sleep, he will work. If he charges 2 cedi, it's 2 cedi. If he charges you 10 cedi, it's 10 cedi. If he says that he will give you that thing, he will give you that thing. If you want progress, that is what you work for. In that case, everything that your business gets is a right reflection of that which comes to your business. You are not looping up the revenue. You are not looping up the income. It's a right correlation of the skill level, of the expertise level of your business, or of your livelihood, of your lifetime. If you are honest as a person and you work and they pay you 5,000 and you are not cutting corners, you take care of your family with that 5,000. It's a direct reflection of everything that comes to you. You'll be able to build a successful life because you'll be able to plan with that well than you going behind everybody to cheat to get 20,000 in addition to the 5,000. You're lying, you're stealing, you're cutting corners. What it means is that you're compromising financial success in the long term. Why? Because you will not be put under the right pressure to get the right knowledge that you need to build the financial success that you want. And the thing about it is that if you want financial success, financial progress beyond that which is almost known to everybody, it's not going to come because you're working for salary. It's not going to come because you just have a job all by yourself. You have a business, some business somewhere that you're working. Those who control a lot of wealth are those who are building businesses and those who are building investments professionally. And so they started to learn that. They built businesses professionally and they built investments professionally. Those are the people who control a lot of wealth. And you cannot do that without these two. Becoming so good at what you do and being character driven. Being a person who says that this is it and this is it. And so when you are cutting corners and not being excellent at what you do, you will never be in the league, in the level that you can control a lot of wealth. You can't. because you will not have the basis rightly. You will not have the basis. And so if you are going to try, if you believe that you have to build financial success well, then you must be the person who is becoming so good at what you do, becoming so good at your business, becoming so good with your character. You are constantly improving. None of us will be perfect, but every one of us will have a fair chance to become so much good with our values, so much good with that which we do for living. Because those are the things that will take you into building businesses professionally. You will never meet any business person who is building professional business, or building investment professionally who is compromising on their values, who is compromising on their productivity, who is compromising on their excellence. No. Those people are very demanding in terms of delivering on time, in terms of delivering on quality, and they are very demanding in terms of being fair and being honest with their client, with their partners, with everybody involved in the chain. When you start to see that, it means that you are staging to becoming somebody who will build strong financial success. But when you see the other people who just trying to cut corners, as is prevalent in a lot of cultures around Africa, it means that we will not have many people who will be able to build strong financial empires. Why? Because whatever they are building, they are hiding and they are screwing a lot of things. They will not be able to build the professional, they will not be able to build the businesses, they will not be able to build the investments professionally. Because if you're a professional, you are excellent at what you do. If you're a professional, you are at the accurate precision is so high. And you are if you're a professional, you are very much ethical, you're very much value driven, you're very much honest in what you deal with. And so if you are going to train to get so well at what you do, you are going to look at these things. Look at these things. No matter what you hear about what people say about building business in our country, whatever that you do, look for these two. Go for excellence. If you finish any product, if you finish anything, if you finish any service somewhere, somebody will want to come and ask, who finished this, who did this, who produced this for you. You want to look for that. So if you're a tailor, if you're a carpenter, if you're a mechanic, if you're a lawyer, if you're a teacher, if you're an engineer, you're in charge of a project, you want to be known as somebody who has a very high sense of excellence, of quality, of delivery. Sometimes you go through town and you look at our buildings and look at the finishing, you know that those people were cheating on that project. You know it. Because when you're excellent in your character, it will affect the excellence in the finishing. So when you go around and see some of these buildings that have very good finishing. Some of these buildings that have very good finishing. Go and look at them. You look at the professionalism that they used to build these buildings. You know that they were not joking. And so if you don't practice this, if you don't practice the the excellence, if they say build this 2-bedroom for me, you want to go for the excellent finisher. You don't want to charge for 3 bags of cement for a particular work and you are using 1 bag of cement. It doesn't worth it. Then you charge the 1 bag of cement and use it, because it's not so much the client that you are failing or you are cheating, it's so much the person that you are becoming. If you continue to practice like that, if you continue to behave like that, you will never be in the big league. Because in the big league, those who are controlling the billions, they are not cutting corners. Because the moment you start to control the billions, all eyes will be on you. They will start to look at everything that you do. And if they start to look at everything that you do, you don't want them to catch you in cutting a lot of the corners. So you would want to practice before you get to that level. And that's why when you see all these multinationals being so much corruption conscious, it's not because they are good people. It's because when they are caught, the penalties alone can wipe out their business. That's why they say that, oh no, we are not corrupt, we want to stay with. It's not because they are good people. It's because when they are caught, everything that they have worked, it will be taken out from them, because they can be sued. So if you are playing on a big league and you are visible, you would want to go with all the right characters, all the right values, all the right things that will make you, because the thing about character is that it protects you. It protects you from falling. It protects you from being sued. It protects you from a lot of things. And even if somebody attacks you, they come to look at what you are doing. They will see that you are doing the right thing. And that is what protects everything that you're building. And that's why you become bold, not being afraid of being known. Why? Because you may be doing all the right things. And if you do that, then it means that you will have the stage to create the right financial success. So if you see somebody who is trying to be at a very small area, he doesn't want trouble and everything, it's because they're afraid of getting excellent at what they do, and also having the right values to handle the positions that they have. Because if you're excellent at what you do, you automatically you cannot be hidden. People will start to look for you if you're excellent at what you do. And if you're excellent at what you do and people come to look for you, they would also want to know that your character, your values, the things that you believe in match the very things that they have heard of you. So if you're a very good doctor and you are very good with surgery and whatever you do is excellent, they would want to know that if they come to you, you are taking bribe or not. They would want to know. And do you treat people anyhow? They want to know, because those things go together. And when you see somebody who is performing at that very top level and their character is also matching, you see that those people will continue to progress. And so if you're building a business, you would want to stay with that, or you would want to start with that. Sometimes we start without knowing some of this, because the norm around you may not be that. The norm around us may be that, oh, it's just normal, what is wrong with this? There's nothing. That's how business is, play the ball, that's how they tell us. And sometimes, let's face it, if you start to go with the excellence, if you start to go with the character, sometimes you delay. There's a perceived delay. Sometimes it may not be the delay. It may be that that's the time that the process may have to take. But because people have done it by just going through all kind of ways and means, when you start to apply the right things to yourself, everybody else will think that you're delaying. Everybody else will think that you're delaying. And sometimes you may even believe that you are delaying. No, you're not delaying, because that's the best way to get everything out of you. The right techniques, the right expertise, the right excellence of delivery, of character, of everything. And so when you are getting the financial success, it will be because you focus on these things, and those things are fundamental to anything. So financial success comes after productivity. They don't just come after wishful thinking, after hoping. So a lot of us hope that things will improve in our lives. A lot of us hope that things will change. A lot of us hope that, but if you don't get excellent at what we do, if you don't get character driven, value driven, the situations will not change that much quickly. Because it's like building a business or building a country. If our country starts to say that everything that we are going to do them with that excellence of character. If we start to put in our people that everything that you're doing, make sure that you do it well, do it accurately, and they can take it to China, they can take it to India, they can take it to America, and those things, the quality that you have done will match everywhere in the world. If it becomes, even if 50% of our population starts to think like that, if a minister and you perform at that precision, just as any minister in Germany, in Holland, in Ireland, everywhere will perform, and if you're character driven, if your morals are intact, there's no way that the country will not develop. There's no way. If our leaders will practice that, there's no way. If you are signing a contract and you are signing the contract demanding that precise excellence of delivery, and you are signing the contract knowing that there's nothing anywhere hidden, there's no way our country will not get value for money. And what's value for money? It's a progress, it's development. Because then you are paying fairly as to what is supposed to be paid, which means that you are not paying extra 1 million. And that extra 1 million could also go to do another thing. And that's why countries develop. That's why businesses are built. And so in your business, if your secretary or if your accountant is paying the salary, which is 10,000, and he's cutting corners and he's paying it 15,000, that 5,000 difference could help you to do another thing. But if they continue to do that and those things grow, your revenue will still be fair, or maybe hopefully you're not also looping your revenues. In that case, your business will be a reflection of what the strength of the business is. And so when you are progressing, it's a clear indication of the strength of the business. You're not cutting any corners. And so when there's a turbulence anywhere, you will see that your business will stand. because you built it. You built it with that spirit of excellence. You built it with that spirit of, you built it with quality. You built it. You stood for some things. You did not just compromise everything. And then you built it with character. You delivered on time. You were right with what you said. You were right with your morals. You stood with what you meant. If you do that, then you will see that there will be success. There will be financial progress. Because everything else, after a while, starts to get results if you don't compromise. And so my name is Kwabena. I am talking about financial success comes after productivity. And so some people want to get finances, they want to get financial progress, they want to get money, they want to be financially free, but they don't believe in productivity. They don't want to do anything. They want to do nothing for money. So they are stuck with lotto, they are stuck with all these things. Some people hear any internet thing, they start to follow it. They follow things that will not build their expertise to get the money. And so they hear that, oh, you can put this money here, in 2 weeks it multiplies by 10. What are you becoming? Because genuine financial success follows productivity. What is it that you have become? Did you deliver anything? Was there any production of anything? Or you just put the money there and they gave you returns? No, there should be expertise that you're building. There should be a build-up. You should become something. By the time that you start to get that revenue, you would have developed some bit of expertise. There should be a product. There should be a service that you are growing. You are involving. There should be something that you are helping humanity eat, and out of that they are paying you. It's not lotto. You don't just how many richest people in the world that you see that they built everything out of lotto? No. Because there's a service they are rendering that people are paying them for, and they continue to grow. They grow the expertise, they grow everything around it. There is something that they're offering, and so that's why the businessman who is just cutting corners and looping is wasting his time. He's not building anything. He's not building the expertise to get the right results. It's not important. So the right financial success that you would want to be interested in will be the one that is coming out of productivity, out of something that you did, that you got paid rightly. And that's why you continue to grow, because then you become a better skilled person. You're character driven and you believe in excellence. You believe in excellence, and if they put anything, they say handle anything, you know that they can trust that you will deliver. But it's not in the consciousness of a lot of people. He has been a mechanic for 30 years. He still practices the way he practices. You give him work, he'll do it 2x4. And when you give him money, it doesn't come. Why? Because that's why he thinks that business is done. And then he wonders why his business is not growing, and he says that he's a demon. Then somebody else will come and pray for him and cast all the demons. There's no demon. Teach the people to be productive. And productivity will come when you are excellent at what you do, and when you're character driven, when you're value driven, when you deliver on time, when you don't shortchange the process, productivity will come. And when there is productivity, there is progress, and there is financial increase, because people start to get more, people start to buy from you, people start to come for your services, people start to mention your name to people. But if they brought you the job and you screw it, who else would want to recommend you again? Nobody will recommend you. And so with time, you see that you start to fade out of business. And so thank you very much for watching, and talk to you some other time. Thank you for watching.